Venom, the new comic book film starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, and Riz Ahmed. This film tells the story of Eddie Brock, a news reporter from San Francisco who's investigating an organization owned by Carlton Drake, played by Riz Ahmed. And whilst he's investigating the organization, he becomes infected with the symbiote that they've been hiding and becomes the eponymous Venom character and gains all these types of superhuman powers and strength. This film I had huge hopes for. It was a comic book film. I love comic book films. Tom Hardy, excellent actor. I loved him in Bronson. I loved him as Bane in Dark Knight Rises. I like what he brings as a character and as an actor. And I thought that Marvel were going to go the same way that they have done with their previous installments of comic book films. They were going to go against the grain. So if you look at films like Deadpool, if you look at films like Logan, films that were comic book but went against the grain and were R-rated, they were gory, they were funny, they were entertaining and still contained a message, I thought, you know what? This is what Venom was going to be. After leaving that film, I can tell you that I was totally disappointed and underwhelmed when I saw Venom. That film is truly a mess from start to finish. There are two redeeming factors that I can think of. Number one, Tom Hardy does his best with what he is given. The script is so full of holes, it's so full of cliches and bad dialogue, but Tom Hardy does the best that he can. I also like the fact of that when Tom Hardy's character Eddie Brock becomes infected with the symbiote, I like the banter between Venom and Eddie Brock. That made for some really great chemistry and some really good dialogue between the two. It was very entertaining and it was very, very funny. There were some genuinely laugh out loud moments whilst I was watching this in the cinema. I found it very funny. And that, for me, was the most redeeming factor. It almost became somewhat of a buddy-buddy type film, where we got to hear the thoughts of the symbiote and we got to see the conflict that Eddie has when he's infected with his character. And that is all I can think of as the good parts of this film, unfortunately. The bad parts about this film was the fact that the action sequences, whilst they were okay, they were not great. They were hampered by shaky cameras and really, really poor visual effects shots. Also, the supporting actors in this film, Michelle Williams, who I thought was a great actress and has done some really, really good action work in the past, but in this film, she is wasted. And I felt that the chemistry between her character and Eddie's character was non-existent. In fact, I thought that the chemistry between Venom and Eddie Brock was more entertaining and more engaging. And even Riz Ahmed, as much as he's coming up in the ranks as a Hollywood actor, I felt that he was totally underused as well. And even the finale sequence between Riot and Venom was somewhat reminiscent of the Abomination and Hulk in the Incredible Hulk film of 2008. I don't know what has happened with regards to films where we had such huge hopes for and high anticipation for, and we ended up being disappointed. I felt that way when I saw Predator, and I definitely felt that way when I saw this film. And what was surprising for me was the fact that this film was actually written by Scott Rosenberg. And Scott Rosenberg is a phenomenal writer. He did Things to Do in Them When You're Dead. He did the iconic classic Con Air. He also wrote Welcome to the Jungle, Jumanji, 2017 release. He's actually writing a sequel. So this man has got a good idea about how to write entertaining films and do great action sequences. But it fell apart in this film. And I don't think even an appearance by Stan Lee, even the charismatic performance of Tom Hardy can save this film. The post-credit sequence in this film, as you know with most Marvel films, there's always a post-credit sequence in this film, indicates that there may be a sequel, but depending on how well this film does, and again, huge hopes, but thoroughly disappointed with this film. I remember when I came out watching, when I saw the first Kick-Ass film, I was like, wow. And then when I saw Kingsman, I thought, wow. And when I saw the sequel to that, Kick-Ass 2, when I saw the sequel to Kingsman 2, I just left the cinema feeling deflated. And that's how I felt when I watched this film. So, I will give Venom 4 out of 10. I was thinking about giving it a 5, but after watching it again, I thought, let me give it a 4. And this is based upon the banter between Venom and Eddie. And that's the only entertaining element of this film. Everything else falls to pieces. When the banter was on between Venom and Eddie, great. But when they weren't bantering, the film falls flat. Disappointing. So, that is my review of Venom. Subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Leave your comments with what is your favourite Marvel film. And I shall see you on the next film review. Take care.